Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I thank Honorable Ponawalu for the questions. Mr. Speaker, sir, there are 6,216 traditional Vanua positions, 214 turang iTaukei, 1,375 turang Niabusa, and 4,627 turang Matangali. As at January 2024, 90 turang iTaukei positions were filled, or 42%. 670 turang Niabusa were filled, or 49%. And 2,305 turang Matangali were filled, or 50%. Therefore, about 3,065 positions were filled, or 49% of the positions. The vacancy rate was 51%. Mr. Speaker, for a long time, the vacancy rate in traditional titles positions was about 50%. More than half of the Vanua structure lacked leadership. A major reason was because the procedure for filling vacant positions is always led by the Vanua. There is no movement if they decide not to act. When a vacancy arises, members of the Toka, Matangali, or Yabusa decides who the next title holder should be. Then they inform the relevant provincial council office, which in turn notified the Waitangi Vanua. Mr. Speaker, this year the GCC changed that procedure. After choosing Rewa as the pilot province for poverty alleviation, the GCC instructed the Waitangi Vanua to visit Rewa's villages where vacancies existed. Development would be effective and meaningful only if the Vanua leadership is strengthened by filling the vacant post, and providing the awareness and training to the title holders. Mr. Speaker, Rewa province vacancy rate was 57%, with 43% of positions being filled. The Waitangi Vanua visited 50 of Rewa's 55 villages. The visit reduced the vacancy rate from 57% to 29%, or 71% of all positions were now filled. The success in the Rewa prompted the Waitangi Vanua to visit Bua, Maduata, and the Kaunrobe. Mr. Speaker, first was Bua, which had a 44% vacancy rate. By the end of the exercise, the vacancy rate decreased to 16%, with 84% of all the positions in Bua now filled. Maduata initially had a 39% vacancy rate, which decreased to 12%, resulting in 88% of positions being filled. Lastly, the Kaunrobe had a 59% vacancy rate, which decreased to 12%, with 88% of positions now filled. Last week, the Waitangi Vanua visited Serua. Before the visit, Serua, 48 out of 81 positions were vacant, or a 59% vacant rate. After the visit, 67 positions are now filled, with Serua vacancy rate reduced to 18%. Mr. Speaker, in summary, 258 out of 343 positions in Rewa are now filled. 331 out of 331 out of 391 positions in Bua are now filled. 414 out of 470 positions in Maduata are now filled. 439 out of 499 positions in the Konrobe are now filled. And 67 out of 81 positions in Serua are now filled. Following the GCC intervention, the overall vacancy rate decreased from 49% to 44%, with 56% of all positions now being filled. For the first time in a long time, we have now surpassed the 51% mark. Mr. Speaker, this was our target before the end of the last financial year, which we have achieved. We plan to visit all the provinces by the end of this financial year. At the current rate, we project that 88% of all positions would be filled. Mr. Speaker, the GCC reinstatement has been less than a year, yet its profound wisdom and guidance are already felt. Mr. Speaker, we have seen the successful of taking the services to the community instead of waiting for them out here in our office. We will work with the Vanua to ensure that most of the 6,216 traditional titles positions are filled. Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.